Who has more catches the rest of the season? And I suppose you guys can add a name to this, but here are the options that this person gave us. Austin Hooper, Harrison Bryant, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins. So Austin Hooper, Harrison Bryant, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins. Who has more catches over the last 9 games, do we think?
It's got to be Jarvis, right? I mean,
you would think.
If you take Jarvis out of that, then I think it's a better question. But I would think Jarvis Landry is going to lead this team in catches this year.
That was going to be my first instinct too. I think that once again, Jarvis has been suffering with what I believe is actually 2 ribs that are impacted by, broken, crack, whatever. So he is suffering from this very painful rib injury. But I do think that he will get more of the catches as they get the passing game cranked up and as he gets feeling a little healthier.
Okay, so let's take Jarvis out of the equation. These are the next 4. So Jarvis has the most receptions on the team. Then it's Odell. These are the next 4 right now: Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Harrison Bryant, and Rashard Higgins. So it's basically the same group, except we're replacing Jarvis with Kareem Hunt. Who do we think gets more receptions out of that group? I think I will go. I didn't actually answer the last one. I would have said Landry too. I think I might go. Part of me really wants to say Rashard Higgins just because of that connection. But man, I'm having trouble with this one.
This is a tough one.
And Hooper, I don't know if Hooper's going to be healthy. I think it could be Hunt or Bryant. And I think I'll go with Nick Chubb coming back. I think I'll go with Harrison Bryant.
I want to go with Rashard Higgins, but I think the key here is what they think about Kadero Hodge. We don't know what the role is going to be for him and whether or not Higgins played himself into some sort of better role than he's had because of the Bengals game. Kadero Hodge seems to understand that in order for him to be on the field, he needs to block. He even tweeted that earlier this year. So I get the feeling they want to keep him in that kind of role. And maybe Higgins is the one who steps into to Odell's spot. So I would say Higgins over this. I think whoever becomes that number 2, quote unquote, number 2 guy behind Landry, as far as receivers go, is going to have more catches than Austin Hooper.
And you know what, you guys, and let me know if you see it this way too. In the same way that I think Baker was kind of trying to find his chemistry with Odell, I still feel like he's going through that with Austin Hooper. And I think it could possibly be a function of, once again, not having OTAs, not having preseason games, and trying to play catch up and not really kind of knowing each other yet. So I think, I would probably go with Rashard Higgins here just because of the natural chemistry. And I think that Baker knows that a lot is at stake in these 9 games. And I think he's going to go to the place where he is, feels really comfortable a lot of the times. If he has a choice between a little bit of, being uncomfortable or more comfortable, I think he's going to go with the guy that he really likes a lot and knows is just kind of always there for him. Having said that, I think they're going to have to get the tight ends involved a lot more with Odell out. I think we'll see plenty of 2 tight ends. We'll see more 3 tight ends. So it's hard to say because we don't know what defensive coordinators, as you mentioned earlier, Dan, how they're going to play these guys, and that will dictate some of this. But I'm going to go with comfort level, and he's like sort of his like security blanket. Rashard is. I'm going with that.
Yeah, I mean it's Rashard is probably going to be the answer. I just we're seeing that connection grow with Harrison Bryant, and the one thing that has really stood out to me is regardless of sort of what's happened around him, Harrison Bryant has just sort of stayed in the same role. He's clearly a guy they want to have on the field a lot. He's clearly a guy that they want to use a lot in the red zone. And it does seem like, with Baker, it does seem like he has to develop connections with guys. That's just sort of the quarterback he is. He has to develop a trust with a guy. And he doesn't, like you said, Mary Kay, he doesn't have that quite yet with Hooper. He obviously has that with Higgins. I think he's developing it with Harrison Bryant. I think he's got it with Kareem Hunt, but Kareem Hunt's got to stop dropping the football. I think those connections are there though. So that's going to be that's a good question. A very nice job there from our Football Insider subscriber.